Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Selamat datang ke webinar LAKAR WANITA Antarabangsa 2021. Terima kasih diucapkan kepada hadirin yang sudi bersama kami pada webinar hari ini. Semoga hadirin sekalian dalam keadaan sihat hendaknya. Sebelum kita memulakan acara, marilah sama-sama kita membaca umum kitab Al-Fatihah. Moga-moga acara kita pada hari ini berjalan dengan lancar dan diberkati oleh Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Al-Fatihah. Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Untuk makluman hadirin sekalian, webinar ini akan berlangsung selama 3 hari iaitu pada 12 Oktober, 14 Oktober dan 15 Oktober 2021. Manakala pada 13 Oktober, Rabu adalah majlis perasmian. Webinar ini adalah kerjasama dari Universiti Teknologi Mara, UiTM, Institut Seni Indonesia, ISI, Yogyakarta dan Galeri Shah Alam. Izinkan saya perkenalkan moderator sepanjang webinar ini. Pada sesi 1, moderator adalah Puan Alina Abdullah, pengarah Galeri Shah Alam. Sesi 2 dan 3 adalah Encik Liu Cheng Hua, Ketua Jabatan Seni Halus Malaysian Institute of Art. Manakala sesi 4 adalah Puan Siti Nur Izaura Raziz, pensyarah kanan Jabatan Pengajian Budaya Visual Fakulti Seni Lukis dan Seni Reka UiTM Puncak Alam, dan sesi 5 adalah Ibu Rida Mediani. Di akhir setiap sesi, pihak kami akan memberi pautan kehadiran. Mohon pelajar dan pensyarah UiTM untuk mengisi pautan yang diberi di ruangan komen YouTube. Sebarang pertanyaan boleh ditanya di ruangan komen YouTube. Tanpa melengahkan masa, kita teruskan acara dengan sesi 1. Dengan itu, saya menyerahkan sepenuhnya sesi ini kepada moderator pertama, iaitu Puan Alina Abdullah. Dipersilakan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Terima kasih Zahir atas introduction tadi. Jadi tanpa melengahkan lagi masa, saya mulakan. Sebelum itu ingin saya jelaskan, artist educator are not common in education field. There's always an artist educators in any art faculties, generally in Malaysia. And we are very lucky to have artist educator in this webinar to present their insights. So with no further ado, let me introduce our first presenter, Dr. Shamiza Abu Hassan. Dr. Shamiza received her PhD from RMIT University of Melbourne and currently teaching in Faculty of Art and Design, UiTM. And along her career, she has won lots of prizes and grants. She has also joined in numerous local and international exhibitions such as Muka Kata at Segaris Art Centre, Publica, Metalmania, Artland Aramati, Brunswick in Melbourne, on the Periphery Art Space, Doctoral Seminar Exhibition 2011, School of Art Gallery Aramati, 4th International UNESCO Geopark Conference Langkawi in 2011. Dan tanpa saya lengahkan masa lagi, saya mempersilakan Dr. Shamiza Abu Hassan yang ingin mempersembahkan kajiannya yang bertajuk Adapting and Sustaining New Norms Through Art. Dipersilakan, Doktor.
Thank you, Madam Moderator, Puan Alina from Galeri Shah Alam, and thank you also to the MC for today, Muhammad Zahiruddin Hassan, for the welcoming morning greeting. I am Sharmiza Abu Hassan from UiTM Cawangan, Melaka. Today would like to share with you and all the viewers here about how I developed the LAKAR WANITA research for the purpose of this exhibition. I'm sorry, sometimes my voice has this nervous fear when you start speaking in the morning. Allow me to mix as well Bahasa and English. And first and foremost, I would like to say thank you for LAKAR WANITA team that has put an effort towards this exhibition, virtual exhibition for this year. Yeah, as we know, LAKAR WANITA has established since 2015, and have held numerous exhibitions, and I was involved as an artist, sometimes as a curator, sometimes as a officiator during the journey of LAKAR WANITA establishment in the Malaysian art scene. I would also like to welcome our partner, institution from Indonesia, from EC Yogyakarta, friends of LAKAR WANITA too, that have contributed time and effort towards this virtual exhibition plus webinar session. Okay, what I would like to share with you maybe will be a shorter version of my involvement in art, so that we can focus on the current development of research that I am currently experimenting. I might say maybe the result is still very, very young and fresh for me, so that it looks a little bit raw, but I guess this will be a new norms that I'm going to develop in the immediate future, I guess. So let me share with you all the slide for my title of discussion today about adapting new norm through art. Yeah, allow me to share my slide. Oh no, hang on. Can Ika take over from here? Is it on? All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, can you hear me? Is the audio okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Sorry for the delay. I'll be speaking on the topic of my own personal title for this international webinar of LAKAR WANITA, Synergy to Define Glory. My title is Adapting and Sustaining New Norms Through Art. I wonder, is the slide okay? Moving?
Yes, Doctor.
All right, thank you. Okay, next slide will be SDG. Yeah? For this year, LAKAR WANITA has decided to choose Sustainable Development Goals as their focus, for their exploration on coming up with artworks for this exhibition of LAKAR WANITA. Yeah, so basically it happened right in the middle of this pandemic. Yeah, not to say the middle, we are towards declaring endemic soon. So I guess it might be related very much with sustainable development goals. Yeah, as stated in this article from Berita Harian Online, I discover this maklumat on Belanjawan 2021 of Malaysia Belanjawan recently, menggariskan agenda pembangunan lestari dan pemuliharaan alam sekitar dan memperuntukkan 5 juta RM untuk menyokong program berkaitan dengan SDG, ya. So politically we are towards that, and in terms of the knowledge and education, especially in most institution and government agency, SDG is the direction, yeah, for the coming future, yeah. Most I can say institution, universities are also towards this awareness, yeah, of sustainable development goals, yeah. And also, I quote an article from an artist actually that believe objects gain their value through the situations in which they are placed. In other words, what defines the value of an object is not the material it is made from, but or the function itself, but it is positioned in a context. So materials come to be quite a significant contributor towards this attempt of practicing SDG in my artwork. Adapting the SDG values during pandemic, I guess I have changed my normal practice by looking into a material that is quite new to me. Yeah, so as an artist, I discover that I am now start to reinvent waste material. Yeah, I start to look into the material that I have used before, but not that frequent. Yeah, mostly I depend on directly industrial material, but this time, due to the MCO, and perhaps we have been doing online learning education and trying to persuade our student, yeah, to believe in the material that they have in the environment, in their personal, in their house especially, yeah, is also possible, or is also can be an alternative, yeah, to create artwork. So encouraging my student, also giving me a lot of what do you call that, a learning process myself. I started to show sample and demonstrate of the possible material around the house, so that I can convince my student, don't worry of being at home, you can still do artworks at home, in your room, in your house, in your, personal dwelling, despite of all the studio and campuses that have been provide you a lot of knowledge about making art before the pandemic. Yeah. So by that, I guess I am influenced by my role as a teacher, trying to convince my students. Yeah, I myself fall into this what do you call, obsession towards this waste material, which is plastic at the moment. Yeah, and the current context of pandemic also have influenced my practice a bit, and that lead me to explore this material called plastic. Yeah, in studies and experiments that I am still trying until the present time. Yeah, and I guess as a normal human that is exposed to this climate situation of these days, yeah, I am concerned, and I feel like the campaign that LAKAR WANITA is trying to share with all the society, yeah, the public, can be further developed, yeah, for the next round of exhibition, I guess. So let me share first what I have been practicing before I jump into this new material of plastic. My creative practice is normally centered around understanding of my own identity. And I believe creative research is not only born of good hunches, but on good thinking. Yeah, thinking through materials, tools, techniques, processes, context, or concept is always interpretive. So you can be confident that creative research builds on local knowledge, something that you already know. So there's a few images of me with my previous artwork that I did in the past, yeah, long time ago in 2000, early millennium, yeah, during my migration to Australia and so on. I would like to share just a bit of images of this past work within the slide, yeah. So just to give you some overview what I have been using in my past practice, yeah. When artists practice, we look at and we discover the artist's working method, the development of his or her style, what the artist is influenced by, what the artist's intention in his or her art making. Mind the typo, please. Sorry. The frames within which the artist work. And I cut it short to just share with you some profile review from the art magazine way back in, I guess this is Fireflies magazine, yeah, Fireflies magazine. This is during 2017, I guess, before the pandemic. So these are a glimpse of images of what I did in my past. Normally, I will work with industrial material, yeah, in my work. Yeah, basically dealing with sculptural practice and installation. And creative research is also about expanding from your present position and stretching to explore new ground. That is, I believe, what I am facing, yeah, what I am confronting at the moment. And before the pandemic, I exhibited at Bank Negara Malaysia, an installation piece using mostly industrial material, yeah, for this installation called the Covenant series. So there's no whatever plastic experience that I explored during exhibition that deals with installation so far. Yeah, mostly I deal with industrial material. These are some group exhibition. Still, I am working mostly with metal. Yeah, but some of the metal can also be categorized into industrial materials too. Yeah, I mean not industrial materials, SDG materials too. Yeah, because they are scrap metals, and mostly sculptor practice that using recycled material or found objects. Yeah, as they see other transformation that is possible and potential to develop into their artworks. So this series is more towards tribute to the worm of Usman Awang. So I did several series of that, but I just put these images as part of my development in 2019. And I also discover that I have also explored plastic as my material, yeah, for a few works that is not exhibited but is partly sent over to as a proposal for a competition. For example, in this work entitled Juicy Life 2017, it's a proposal for OITA sculpture competition, yeah, where I use plastic basin, yeah, as my main material for this proposal, but it didn't go through the final level. So I have that with me and I keep that with me. This is also another artworks that I have tried for using cultural SDG, I can say, a cultural kind of material that I pick up from the ready-made material during my residency in Bandung, Indonesia in 2015, yeah, where we spent like a week at Bandung, ITB Bandung, yeah, and I explore the pasar, the market, the common what do you call that weave products, yeah, for my installation. This little installation actually is around not more than 1 meter by 1 meter, and a wall piece, yeah, of a ready-made objects. And I also recall back, I have also won an award for this SDG base, yeah, competition, SW Corp sculpture competition in Cyberjaya in 2017. I won the third prize, and it was a good prize. But I didn't feel like I continue with the plastic at that time, but rather go back to my metal works. Yeah. So this was in 2017. The title of the work is By Heart, medium made of fuel plastic container and found metal scrap as usual. Yeah. And a broken heller or broken speaker, yeah, as the base. Yeah. Alhamdulillah, it is now collected by SW Corp company. And life with the new norms. Yeah, this is a recent picture of myself. Yeah, I believe many of my friends and the public outside also is practicing the same thing I did. Yeah, sometimes we were reminded to wear double mask and to wear face shield and all that. And it seems funny, but again, that is the new norms that we have to get used. Yeah. And I guess during MCO, our lifestyle that is more intimate, and we were trapped at our own dwelling. Yeah. So it tend to develop more time with our pets. Yeah. And I also discover that pet has also facing the same situation like the human too. They were a lot of products or carrier that also been created like what we are as human, yeah, practice at this moment, yeah, wearing all this plastic kind of shield and protection, yeah. And this was in March 2021, this year actually. The work that I have devoted into adapting these new norms, yeah, where I put the wire works of like a metal hands, yeah, with finger pointing up, because hands has been quite a body part, yeah, quite an important body part, and the most concerned area, yeah, during this new norms. Yeah, we have to clean our hand as frequent as we can. Yeah, so it's like the hand is been covered or been protected by all these covering things. And I did this capsule resembling, this pandemic need to be healed. Yeah, and we are doing it concurrently, and all this WHO effort, yeah, to identify the best vaccine and so on. Yeah, all this happening is giving me some uncomfortability. Yeah, and I started to feel like, okay, let's respond this situation in a form of artwork. This was exhibited in Art Realm Gallery, Ampang, together also with a few women artists. Yeah, in that image, that photos is Professor Dr. Siti Zainun Ismail. And also this little work also exhibited in the same show, and I put this found toys, yeah, as it represent, especially, yeah, for women, yeah, for mothers like me that have multi role in the house, with having all commitment with families, and teaching, and at the same time handling all these IT devices. I feel like I am also trapped myself, but it gives me a good what do you call feeling, when all your loved one was safe with you in the house. And these images was the experiment that I did, yeah, day by day, during this MCO session. I start to see and start to collect mineral bottles, and start to collect all these soft drink bottles around, which I feel like accumulating more and more in the house, when most of the family members in the house spending time in the refrigerator, opening and shutting it like every 5 minutes. Yeah, the fridge. Yeah, I feel like something is telling me, hey, there's something reflecting on this. So I started this attitude of collecting all this waste, or I can say trash, yeah, and experimenting with heat. I find it a very lasting material, yeah, and start to compose a few arrangement, yeah, that I feel potential to develop further. And I started to create a shape that resembles eyes, yeah, with the bottle lid and plastic and mixture with different colors of soft drink bottles, yeah. And I created this cute emoji that people use in texting, in WhatsApp, and in communicating in social media. And I also start to have the time, yeah, since I cannot work in my office, I start to spend time more at my studio site, and start to look for materials that I came across, yeah, during shopping, or during going to buy groceries and all that. And I found this fruit palette that also looks like the QR code that we are going to have that as a system of life, yeah, of the current times. And again, the plastic, I started to also create objects and form that came from the environment. And the on the right side image is actually a form of bats, yeah, I was like playing around with the green bottle plus the wing of that bat formation that I created with plastic, been soldered and heated. Yeah. Then the QR code thing came from the pixel that is not normal in the screen, but it's a physical pixel that I collected from things around my studio. Yeah. And I start to playing with it. I am dreaming of having the code as it can be scanned or readable through the phone, but I'm still experimenting. So give me more time, I guess, for me to explore further. And this is the QR heart that I put in the virtual exhibition for this LAKAR WANITA, made of plastic, wood pallet, a fruit pallet, wood, and metal metal casing, and aluminium. This is another work that I titled as Heavy Breath. Again, the issue of, lungs as an important or quite a popular organ that has been concerned by the worldwide. Yeah, how to overcome the virus when it get to your lungs. Yeah, so the green soft drink bottle of actually Mountain Dew, 7 Up, yeah, mostly soft drink, I guess, has been a good friend to me lately. And I guess it will further telling me that I play with this kind of materials, yeah, for the time being and explore further. Yeah. So this was it. This was the emoji, our common emoji as the title for this work. A simple work that I am experimenting and trying out. I believe I am in the process of getting to be familiar with the technique, the possible potential surface, and so on. Yeah, that was me in my studio space. And I also have the intention to develop my studio currently as a as SDG based research studio, so that I can also expose more towards the public around, the society around my studio, about how I am collecting plastic and how they can spare if they have at home, this kind of trash, so that I can further explore in my research studies. And that picture on the right is actually a two internship student that are currently doing their internship under my supervision in Mizasan studio. So this is the studio that I am currently working with all this plastic exploration. Yeah, it's situated in Melaka Pindah. I started to develop this studio site also during pandemic, and I guess that will be my, I can say, future place. Yeah, apart from teaching in the university, this is the place that I can say my second office. So whoever pass by Melaka, I welcome you all to come and visit or join me. Bring more trash so that I can explore further. This was Synergy to Define Glory exhibition, virtual exhibition in the Arts tab that you can also browse later. My corner of the 3 works that I explore under SDG based theme. And I guess I have a video to share. Please, organizer. Can we share the video now?
Hi all. So today I would like to share the place I begin experimenting with my materials. In this series of plastic era series that I call for the word LAKAR WANITA Sustainable Development Goal theme, I am actually experimenting plastic as my materials. So it is actually based from a common plastic bottle that came from mineral bottles. Yeah, some of it came from actually fruit palette like this. Yeah, and I will select a few color that I find interesting to be a part of this series of plastic. So as we face pandemic and we were exposed to this SOP, wearing masks, sometimes face shield that made of plastic, I guess plastic has become very significant in our daily life during these new norms. So I've decided to try and experiment this kind of daily mundane plastic bottles as my material to explore my work. So as for example, this character of plastic have been treated using soldering iron to get a tactile quality out of this normal plastic mineral bottle. Of course, it is through burning effect that we get all these tactile and textural surfaces, yeah, that I have created as part of my exploration. As this fruit palette that came from abandoned factory, I collected few of them and treated them, cleaned them white as I recall back the QR code that we confront in our daily lives during the new norms. So through this experiment, I hope I can turn out this fruit palette into resembling a blank canvas. That's why I put a white background first in order for me to understand further what are the best things to explore on the surface. As you see here, this is coming from a green plastic bottle that came from normally 7-Up or Mountain Dew that I cut and burn back and turn it into shapes that can also resemble eyes. Yeah. So these are some experiments. For example, I explore a skull using this combination of plastics and textural quality that has been made through the burning effect and soldering iron technique. To solder the plastic, as you can see here, you have to use soldering iron and start to create holes that can be arranged into patterns of texture that is interesting for me to explore further into a form, for example, like what I have in this work. This work titled Heavy Breath is also a recalling memory of COVID cases where lung has been a significant organ that is sensitive during this pandemic. These are some samples that I'm still playing with as a skull that is transparent and made up of plastic as well. I enjoy playing with plastic for this new series, but I haven't feel satisfied in trying out to get what are the best form that I can explore further in this experiment. So I guess sustainable development goals is also educate people to reuse and recycle material in order for us to sustain the earth. These are samples of how we burn and turn into curved form. How the burner slowly forming the plastic into another type of form instead of just a flat plastic. Using a very low heat temperature from the fire burner, we can turn the plastic into a curved form or a rounded form as we wish.
Okay. I guess that will be it. The end of my slideshow. And I would like to thank all the LAKAR WANITA friends from UITM Shah Alam and from all over UITM Cawangan, seluruh Malaysia, Gallery Shah Alam as the co-host, and EC Yogyakarta Indonesia friends that also took part in this seminar and the virtual exhibition. With that, Assalamualaikum. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shamiza, for your insightful sharing on your process of your artworks and current artworks.
Yeah.
And Zahir, are there any questions from the audience that we can address? Okay, while waiting, I have
no question.
I have a question.
All right, sure.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah.
Along your research on sustainable or found objects or recycled objects, actually it's a very good initiative. It's a very good effort to help our environment and all. But are there any disadvantage of using found objects in artwork or?
Well, as you go along exploring, you will see the potential, but you also aware of the perhaps the value of the material might be something that is questionable, maybe as it is displayed physically in the gallery further, and they ask, these are coming from trash. Yeah, how do you put the value into the price that I usually have? But as I have mentioned earlier, yes, I use a lot of industrial material previously, but an artist never stop in creating or in inventing, yeah, what she or he likes to decide as a material that is going to be the next work. And I guess the main concern here is how to narrate that materials, yeah, of coming, although they are trash in the beginning, but when you treated them with such a technique that not many can able to think or to create, yeah, it then will have the touch from an artist. So artist has narrative that can be represented as a cultural artifact of that context of time and the society. So if the value of the material become something that is so concerned, I guess myself feel like as you go along inventing and creating, Duchamp, for example, use a lot of found materials and objects during Dadaism movement and during avant-garde movement also. That has been, the main material or ready-made objects. The master artists of avant-garde, have invented during their time a lot of mundane daily life objects, but that are now, for example, like all these ready-made common objects in the house, like what Duchamp has, of the toilet bowl. It is worth millions of dollars. So I guess the disadvantage of materials is subjective to individual artists.
So artists have to manipulate the objects. They have
As
to
as
fit
you
the.
go along,
Yeah.
creating,
Yeah.
of course, you will find there are some technique that never been exposed in the what institution or in your learning process in the university, but you yourself will find it if you work on it.
Yeah, agree.
Yes.
Apparently, there are 2 questions from the audience, and I will read it to you, Doctor.
Okay.
When did Doctor realize that plastic also can be an art?
Okay. All right. I guess I have used plastic in the past, but not as serious as I am now. I guess plastic has been part of my creation of my past work too. But compared to metals and all the industrial material that I have tried before, I guess at the moment, during this MCO thing, during this pandemic, the new norms time, I guess I would love to try out further and explore further this material called plastic, because it is everywhere and I save the climate. I am contributing towards saving the environment and the climate.
Yes, indeed, Doctor.
Yeah.
So the next question is, apakah cabaran dalam mengendalikan recycle material? Perlukah proses yang lebih, take care towards that material?
Well, yes, ada pro and cons when you deal with upcycle material. But as you go on searching, I guess there are few artists, local artists that is already become the highlight in the art scene, where they use all these electronic gadgets, or electronic devices and parts. But she, Nortijan Firdaus, for example, I'm selecting her because I guess she has familiarized the formula, how to overcome when you deal with all this waste material, how to overcome the finishes, how to overcome the coating so that it can last longer. Hopefully, inshallah, the material will speaks to you and be your friend if you spend time with them. The material itself is talking to you. If you touch them, if you hold them, and if you live with them further and explore further, the material will tell you the secrets. Like what Nortijan Firdaus has successfully establish an identity of an artist who use electronics and devices into a beautiful artwork. Thank you for the question.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor. I guess that's it. I myself would someday visit want to visit your
Yes,
studio and
please
bring the
come.
stuff,
Please come.
yeah, to your
Bring
gallery.
more
Yeah.
plastic bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, don't
Bring
forget that.
along a lorry of recycled things. Okay,
Yes.
thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your
Okay,
time and hope to see you all physically soon, inshallah.
inshallah.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, that is Dr. Shamiza, our artist, our prominent artist, in especially in sculpture. And next we have Dr. Mastura binti Haji Muhammad Jarid. Okay, I will introduce Dr. first. Dr. Mastura binti Muhammad Jarid completed her PhD in Visual Communication Graphic Department at the Faculty of Art and Design, UITM. She's from Perak and currently a senior lecturer in Faculty of Art and Design, University Teknologi Cawangan Perak. Doktor?
Dekat Shah Alam.
Oh, dekat Shah Alam, sorry. Okay, she got her degree master's in visual communication in the year 1996 from University of Central England. She has vast experiences in the industries where she worked as a designer in black and brown advertising in Kelana Jaya, Petaling Jaya, Selangor. In the year 94, she works as a lecturer in EDI, Institute Bina Usahawan, Melawati, Kuala Lumpur. In the year 97, working as junior art director at Warisan Advertising in Setiawangsa, Kuala Lumpur. And she has a lot of experience in her current field. And in 1998, working as a lecturer in Lim Kok Wing Institute of Arts before she joined UITM up until now. So she joined a lot of exhibition and present one, of course, LAKAR WANITA, and in 2000, this year, she joined Parasa Kalikasan World Nature Conservation Day, Philippines, Malaysia. It's a joint art exhibition. And Design Decoded, second international conference on design industry and creative culture in UITM Kedah. Waste to Art competition. She joined a Waste to Art competition 2021, the Awaken Legend, in August this year. And the latest one, Poster International Art Connoisseurship Colloquium IACC 2021. I'm impressed, Doctor. So without further ado, I present to you Dr. Mastura Haji Muhammad Jarid. She will present on a presentation titled Exploration of Typography. Okay, Doctor, can you?
Terima kasih Puan Alina Abdullah dan terima kasih kepada Cik Muhammad Zahiruddin, Cik Muhammad Khaizir, dan juga saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Galeri Shah Alam kerana dapat menerima kami tim LAKAR WANITA dan bekerjasama, dan juga saya mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada tim LAKAR WANITA, terutama Puan Zuriati, Puan Idawati, Puan Eliza Hashim dan seterusnya tim kami yang saya rasa even though that we've been working together in the new norm online, but kita rasa close even though that mungkin suku daripada tim tak pernah pun kami berjumpa secara maya, but we had a lot of ada chemistry. We had a fun doing the work, always share the knowledge, thing that related with our field, Jadi I rasa very close to the team, and also I would like to thank to our partner which is EC Yogyakarta, and then this is the first time that we collaborate as a woman artist together with the negara seberangnya, itu jiran kita. So basically I punya field is more towards on the graphic field. Izinkan saya untuk mencerita sedikit tentang sedikit saja latar belakang dan why I falling in love with the typography. Because
yes, please, Doctor.
Thank you. Then from the beginning, as we know that a lecturer ataupun dalam bidang visual communication sendiri, typography tu bukanlah menjadi benda asing, because the typeface, even though I'm not talking about only the lecturer, even the designer, even the person yang tiap-tiap hari, even though kalau hari-hari kita nak minum mineral water, so kita kena baca the level of mineral water tu sendiri kan. And then kalau kata kita nak makan nasi lemak, even though that nasi lemak yang dibungkus, dia ada chop dia, Cik Nah nasi lemak, okay. Ataupun kalau kita nak makan mi goreng pun dia ada tulis kan. Even kalau kita pergi stall yang a simple stall yang very close to our heart, yang stall yang tepi jalan yang kita always makan tiap-tiap hari pun, dia labelkan mihon, kotiau, nasi lemak. Jadi it's not typeface tu, kalau tanpa typeface tu saya rasa kita susah, kita tak tahu sama ada kalau kita nak membeli barang tu benda tu apa. Okay, kita labelkan. Mungkin saya punya disciplinary adalah more towards graphic, tapi I really falling in love and then start collecting the typefaces ataupun typography ni since daripada master, dan allowed me to present a bit my presentation using a PDF file. Ya, Puan Alina.
Boleh Doktor, silakan.
Ya. Maaf, sebentar. Ya, ada problem sedikit, minta maaf. Bentar sahaja. Okay. Boleh nampak ya semua?
Boleh Doktor. Boleh mula.
Okay, di sini saya ingin share sedikit. Tadi saya ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih juga kepada semua yang dapat hadir ya di dalam sama ada view dalam YouTube ataupun dalam Google Meet. Dan kita punya, saya sangat rasa berbesar hati ya dapat diterima dalam sesi join bersama LAKAR WANITA. Kali ini LAKAR WANITA dengan tajuk Synergy to Define Glory 2021. Okay. Sebenarnya apa yang saya produce di dalam LAKAR WANITA adalah bertitle Roots. Ya, Roots. Bagaimana Roots ini terhasil adalah kerana ini terhasil daripada saya punya research previous, iaitu PhD saya, bagaimana saya ingin mencari titik tolak di mana datangnya Malay identity di dalam advertising, ya, terutamanya di dalam Malay Mail. Saya menjurus kepada Malay Mail, iaitu saya mengambil dalam advertisement yang saya fokus di dalam festive season, ya, iaitu saya juruskan dia kepada festival Hari Raya Festival. Jadi apa yang dapatan saya yang pada peringkat permulaan saya merasakan saya akan mendapat begitu banyak karakteristik daripada contoh, ya, sebab macam daripada makanan seperti ketupat, ya, seperti contohnya dalam kerawang-kerawang, ataupun dalam Malay punya elements of design, ya, mungkin daripada segi design kerongsang yang diadaptasikan di dalam typeface tu sendiri, ya. Apa pencarian saya adalah lebih kepada dalam tipografi yang berbentuk Latin tetapi diinjekkan di dalam influence of Malay identity di dalam typeface tu sendiri. Contohnya macam kalau katalah A Latin tapi ada influence of Malay identity di situ. Tapi apa yang saya dapat adalah dia lebih kepada menjurus kepada Islamik, ya, Islamik, iaitu lebih kepada tulisan Jawi, iaitu nasak. Okay. Jadi apa yang saya kaji di sini adalah daripada penghasilan dapatan saya daripada PhD research saya transform dia menjadi dalam bentuk praktikal, ya, dalam bentuk praktikal. Itu yang saya allow me to read. Macam apa yang dekat sini yang saya catatkan adalah the production of this work entitled Root is a continuation of research conducted previously, which is my PhD. The artist, which is me, realized the findings of writings of Malay typefaces since the beginnings of Malay influence in the typeface. The results of the study begin from the Jawi manuscript or from the Al-Quran scripture. Ini yang saya rasa sangat terkesan, ya, sangat terkesan untuk diri saya, yang which is saya ingin adaptkan whatever information that I get from the Arabic punya influence yang saya nak adaptkan di dalam Latin typefaces, ya, Latin typefaces which is yang kita normal kita pakai itu A until Z. Okay, this work was converted through handwriting of recycled wood which is yang apa yang saya lihat, sebab kita macam apa yang kita lihat sekarang adalah banyak bahan-bahan yang terbuang, ya, banyak bahan-bahan yang terbuang yang macam saya collaboratekan the idea of the making of the typefaces tu related with the wood, ya, wood yang terbuang, yang saya collaborate pula the ideas of SDG number 12 dan SDG number 15, iaitu land, dan juga number 12 is responsible consumption and production. Bagaimana banyak benda-benda yang terbuang di luar yang kita rasa macam mungkin kalau kata kita tidak melihat secara teliti, kita akan rasa benda tu tidak berharga. Tapi pada saya melihat kayu yang saya ambil dan saya lukis kayu-kayu yang terbuang tu dijadikan a part of developing typefaces yang saya wujudkan, ya, yang saya kendaki dengan Allah Maha Berkuasa, ya, Allah memberi kita idea untuk memikir, ya, bagaimana daripada pemerhatian kita daripada segi visual communication, daripada kita melihat kita melihat kekurangan Malay identity di dalam penghasilan tipografi, menjadikan kita merongkah mengupas bagaimana apakah benda yang terbaru yang kita boleh buat, itu yang kita namakan exploration typography. Apakah benda baru yang kita akan adapt tapi menggunakan benda-benda yang di sekeliling kita, tambah pula di zaman pandemik ni, kita akan melihat di sekeliling kita apa yang kita ada, apa yang kita boleh gunakan, dan benda ni adalah dijadikan benda yang sangat berharga bila kita polish, bila kita buat dia menjadi benda yang dia menjadi satu masterpiece. Jadi saya memberikan converted the handwriting on the recycled wood tadi, giving a new breath of Arabic feeling, motif toward the style with the distinctive method according to the criteria. Okay. The aim of saya punya adalah is the experiment, the experiment of the typography itu sendiri. How the experiment of the typeface design is the uncertain in the impacts of the audience receive to the understanding of the message. So I allow myself to give the audience punya opinion, how the opinion can understand. Is it the audience understand what I'm trying to give the message? Is it that's the reason why saya punya eksperimen adalah eksperimen typography itu sendiri, menghasilkan typefaces itu sendiri daripada A to Z. Okay. This experiment will be able to contribute the idea and mungkin boleh reflect how the Arabic typefaces influence and can give some impact toward a visual and semantic impact to our design as a whole. This experiment will be provide knowledge and direction and how to create our own typefaces and Malay typefaces, so that appreciations to our culture, and our tradition through typeface will emerge. That one is, I really hope that our young generation can accept or either might be mungkin not just me, might be the whole of the typographer in Malaysia, for example, can contribute, contribute the making of the typefaces ni menjadi satu benda yang it's so important in a Malaysian as a whole, and then not just to understand the typefaces memang dah di-generate oleh Western. That's the reason why typefaces A to Z tu dia jadi global, tapi to us, kita rasa kita punya responsibility untuk to add the some element dalam Latin punya typefaces tu, our culture, to understand. Macam my field is more towards on understanding of my root, my root and my culture, and then to add in the element of experiment of my the idea of the culture itself towards typography. At the same time, it is useful for the design purposes, as it can be later to commercialize. Might be people can use for the might be for me, I'm using as a art platform, which is I present as a the beauty of typefaces dalam bentuk hasil pengkaryaan exhibition, joining the exhibition and so on. Tapi mungkin those other people can appreciate the typefaces, mungkin dia can use these typefaces untuk promoting through advertising, packaging on or other stuff. And then at the same time, it is useful, very useful, and this experiment can use other medium. Mungkin macam for me, I love to do the wood carving, and then silk screen, and then at the same time some sort like a collage, tapi namely as a Arabic. For now, I lebih concentrate on the Arabic characteristic sebab saya nak menzahirkan research yang dalam writing dizahirkan dalam bentuk visual. Okay. My investigation is memang purely towards on the explorations of the designing the typefaces and letter. Designing the typefaces and the letter. This typeface have lead to their appropriate within the commercial art and macam sekarang pun kalau kita lihat kalau kita melihatlah kalau kita nak buat any advertising punya purposes ataupun nak buat art purposes ataupun nak buat packaging purposes, kita boleh Google dan kita boleh tengok berjuta-juta typefaces in the market. Tapi kita rasa terkesan bila kita melihat ada sedikit kekurangan. Memang kita ada, di Malaysia kita ada lots of typographer, people yang develop the typefaces. Contoh macam dekat Melaka sendiri, kita ada kita punya grafik tapi sekarang mengajar di Melaka yang memang membuat typography influence from the Malay identity dalam typefacesnya. Nama panelnya adalah Iqbal. Dia menghasilkan typefaces yang dinamakan Dayang Senandung dan juga Pak Pandir. Jadi banyak yang menerima, contoh yang menerima typefaces ni adalah golongan daripada masyarakat daripada Jepun. Kita sangat rasa berbersah hati. Saya rasa macam alhamdulillah, sebab tujuan saya sebenarnya adalah peringkat awal research saya adalah lebih kepada collecting, collect siapakah yang lagi yang membuat di Malaysia yang membuat typefaces. Okey, harap maaf bila saya bercerita saya agak emosi bila bercerita. Saya
tak apa doktor, tak apa.
Saya rasa excited. Okey, novelty. Dalam eksperimen ni apa yang kita anggap novelty tu adalah Malay influence tu. Yang Malay influence yang kita katakan tu adalah influence from Arabic. Arabic. Itu using the characteristic of Latin like what I just mentioned just now. And then typefaces ni not only you type untuk you buat journal, you buat documentation, tapi they can provide knowledge, a new direction and approach and how to create our Malaysian as a whole and Malay typefaces. Mungkin saya menjurus kepada Malay identity, and so the future audience can appreciate a Malaysian narrowing down to a Malay culture through a Malaysian typefaces. Understanding of the one root and culture are the basic elements of experimenting with the idea of developing one typefaces design. This research intend to ascertain that design and develop, utilize and expressive use of typography styling. It also intend to identify the response, the relationships of the type used in the design as a related. Okey, dekat sini kalau kita lihat, ini adalah sketches saya. Sketches ini pun buku ni adalah pemberian daripada kawan. Jadi apa sahaja yang kawan-kawan bagi, kita akan rasa appreciate dan kita akan gunakan untuk saya hampir siap dalam buku ni saya menghasilkan sketches yang dibentuk daripada Arabic. Okay, Arabic influence. Apa yang tertulis dekat situ, typography is the meaning of the typography. Even the artistic typography, sometimes the most of the use encounter every day. Macam like I said early tadi, even kita nak beli mineral water, kita nak beli nasi lemak, okay, even if when we don't realize it's a blanket dalam billboard or our Instagram currently kita dah duduk di dalam norm yang baru, duduk di dalam komputer, FB, Instagram, Pinterest dan Telegram, dan kalau kita includekan together with the typography, alangkah cantiknya kalau kita ada pula typography yang berelemenkan culture kita sendiri. Fit alike, but what the typography art exactly? Put another way, what does the typography mean in the art? We here to help with the typographer art definition and some incredibly creative typography as example like what I explore. Okay, what is the typography? What is the art of typography? Okay, dictionary ni bercakap. Okay, dictionary ni menyatakan the style. Okay, the typography ni adalah lebih kepada arrangement, the arrangement of the typefaces, arrangement from the beginning, itu adalah historinya, dan until now arrangement of typography. Okay, tapi kalau katalah kita melihat kaligrafi, macam mana pula pandangan kita kepada kaligrafi? Okey, sekarang ada buku baru, dulu pada peringkat awal dia tak ada kaligrafi tu, dia namakan dia sebagai kaligrafi, ataupun macam contoh kalau kita typefaces yang setengah typefaces yang bukan Latin dikatakan as a kaligrafi ataupun tapi sekarang ada buku telah mencatatkan researcher dah bindan, dia dikategorikan dalam non-Latin, non-Latin. Mungkin typefaces yang saya buat adalah di dalam non-Latin ataupun di dalam display typefaces. Okey, dekat sini apa yang saya melihat dalam root, okey, saya akan lajukan sedikit. Yang ini yang saya kata daripada penghasilan PhD tadi, research PhD saya tadi, saya melihat ini, saya ambil sedikit sahaja dari portion analisis saya di dalam research saya sebelum ni. Apa yang saya melihat, saya mungkin pada peringkat awal saya melihat saya punya research akan ada bunga raya yang bercirikan Malaysia, ada ketupat, tapi apa yang kita nampak, Allah memberi kita satu pandangan yang berbeza, yang mungkin pada kita melihat hanya daripada visual, tapi Allah membuka minda kita rupanya di dalam early night, selepas sahaja perang, apa yang kita lihat pre and post merdeka, apa yang kita lihat advertisement kita adalah lebih bersifat jawi, jawi yang jawi yang diucapkan selamat hari raya dikombinkan dengan Rumi, dekat situ macam mana ada mix between jawi, okey, selamat hari rayanya, dan diolah dalam dimixkan ataupun dicantumkan bersama Latin typefaces, Okey, inilah penghasilan, itulah terhasilnya. Yang di sebelah N ni adalah daripada pengzahiran saya terhadap Arabic punya influence, yang saya bentukkan dia di dalam motif-motif Arabic yang saya ambil, tapi saya menzahirkan dalam bentuk design. Okey, ini adalah conclusion saya, conclusion research saya, which is saya bacakan, the audience in Malaysia as a present are becoming more demanding. Kita punya, kalau kita tengok, memang rata-rata masyarakat kita dah demanding, kehendaknya masing-masing, kalau katalah audiensnya macam-macam audience, teenagers dengan kehendaknya sendiri, adult dengan kehendaknya sendiri, youngest age dengan kehendaknya sendiri. So becoming normal, demanding in the design field and their design, and also in art field. Need to highlight the important and influence pertaining to the issue of the local cultural issue. Bukanlah saya kata tak ada, kita ada local culture. Mungkin daripada segi mewujudkan dalam dari segi seni visual communication, dalam segi typefaces mungkin agak berkurangan. Okay, the issues and the lacks of the local cultural issue in Malaysia, dari segi typography designnya kita ingin highlightkan macam apa yang kita dikodekan as being noted that in the RMK11 Malaysia plan, various government department will be involved such a KK, Kementerian Penerangan Komunikasi dan Kebudayaan, to bring about the informations of this particular Malaysian typefaces archive. The settings up the foundation will spread ahead the creations of our typefaces, which will reflect our heritage and national identity. The government should take the lead to set up our department or unit that will monitor or coordinate the developments of these very own typefaces of Malaysia. Okey, ini adalah saya punya conclusion daripada research previous Mungkin saya skip. Yang inilah penghasilannya yang saya namakan dia root culture Yang ini adalah saya ambil daripada kepingan-kepingan kayu yang terbuang, yang saya bersihkan balik yang saya grindkan balik saya bersihkan balik dan saya membuat dia overlap overlap yang which is kayu yang saya ambil, saya lukis secara freehand dengan motif-motif Arabik tadi, dan saya lapikkan dekat apa yang kita lihat di belakang. Ini adalah pemotong fruit cutting fruit cutting yang base-nya adalah kayu juga. Jadi saya lapikkan, dia ada sedikit macam some sort like emboss Ada kayu di atas dan ada kayu di bawah, dilapikkan dan dijadikan typefaces. Dijadikan setiap typefaces itu berlainan motif-motifnya. Okey, berlainan motif tapi masih lagi di dalam lingkungan Arabic influence Arabic influence. Okey, ini adalah hasil karya yang saya dapat hasilkan untuk dipamerkan di dalam Lakar Wanita. Okey. Dan seterusnya, apa yang menjuruskan saya minat saya terhadap exploration typography adalah semasa saya membuat master saya di tahun 1995 dan alhamdulillah 1995 adalah hujung tahun dan saya punya master program tu adalah 96 dan 97 Jadi apa yang bila kita di luar negara kita bukanlah, saya bukanlah orang daripada keluarga yang kaya Saya hanya mengharapkan grant ataupun daripada MARA Alhamdulillah MARA telah menaja saya dan saya mendapat grant tu pun kita cukup-cukup sahaja. Jadi bila kita cukup sahaja, apa yang kita fikirkan adalah benda-benda yang penghasilannya adalah advertisement Saya membuat advertisement. Saya membuat advertisement untuk East India Saya mengambil klien saya adalah East India. Apa yang saya lihat, sebab saya serba kekurangan apa yang saya melihat adalah saya pergi ke kabut. Saya pergi ke kabut sale mencari butang-butang sebab East India adalah company yang menjual baju clothing company. Apa yang saya lihat adalah bila namanya adalah East India, saya melihat kotak tea crate dan juga butang-butang baju. Saya membuat eksperimen, saya membeli butang-butang baju yang daripada kabut sale dan saya membuat collage yang membuat print di atas tea crate tu dan saya membuat light painting. Apa yang saya rasa pada ketika itu adalah saya memikirkan benda yang murah, benda yang terbuang. Okey, benda yang terbuang. Jadi saya memilih untuk finalnya adalah foto development foto, dan saya foto pada ketika tu sebab kita boleh develop sendiri kita boleh pergi ke lab dan boleh develop, dan satu rim dalam 50 pound. Jadi banyak dalam tu. Jadi saya mengambil inisiatif untuk membuat light painting dan juga membuat eksperimen daripada bahan-bahan yang terbuang. Itulah terhasilnya saya sangat menjurus kepada benda-benda yang saya rasa mungkin setengah orang rasa mungkin kalau katalah kita punya sibling apalah kita kumpul semua barang-barang yang terbuang macam semua nak disimpan, tapi di mata saya benda tu akan dijadikan something yang very good. Ini adalah the series of saya punya master project pada peringkat awal, dan yang ini juga adalah daripada guni-guni yang terbuang daripada kopi punya guni yang saya hasilkan membuat light painting dan masa ketika itu kita hanya menggunakan torchlight dan kita membuat sendiri light painting tu dekat rumah lepas tu kita develop sendiri dan kita sangat rasa macam benda tu sangat bonding dengan diri kita okay? Sebab kita menghasilkan benda tu dengan penuh rasa ikhlas dan kasih sayang terhadap benda yang walaupun even though benda tu terbuang. Okey, ini adalah penghasilan saya semasa master. Okey, yang saya menggunakan kain-kain yang terbuang yang saya paint balik dan saya adalah headline dia iaitu Where Fashion Assignment Never End. Itu adalah headline yang saya gunakan untuk tabloid size press ad. Dan saya pergi kepada sekejap yang saya rasa begitu terkesan juga dengan yang ini adalah LAKAR WANITA yang kami buat yang jemputan pertama Puan Zurin telah menjemput saya. Inilah LAKAR WANITA yang saya menggunakan blok-blok kayu blok-blok kayu yang saya paint saya paint blok-blok kayu tersebut menjadikan A to Z Ini semasa ni adalah Dr. Syamiza adalah sebagai kita punya curator masa tu. Okay. Saya sangat berbesar hati masa ni. Saya rasa macam apabila audien boleh menerima kita punya karya kan, typefaces karya dengan dengan secara terbuka kita rasa macam very honoured dan saya lajukan sedikit. Yang ini adalah saya join dengan Melaka, Exhibition Merge in UiTM Melaka, yang saya ambil ayat ni adalah Malay. Jadi setiap satu ayat tu, typefaces tu saya menggunakan eksperimen yang berbeza Contoh macam yang ini saya menggunakan embroidery, yang ini saya membuat wrap. Okay, typefaces tu menggunakan songket as a Malay punya identity, dan saya ambil juga the idea of tenun dijadikan dalam bentuk huruf A. Okay. Dan juga saya mengambil kayu yang telah di carving untuk dijadikan L dan embroidery di atas songket itu sendiri juga, dan juga saya mengambil influence of kanak-kanak macam mana lipstick tu dijadikan Y dijadikan eksperimenkan kepada dalam bentuk Y ini juga. Dan juga saya mengambil sebab saya suka dengan freehand punya activity, jadi saya mengambil juga sedikit motif flora and fauna di situ Dan batik kita tak lari daripada batik Malay identity. Jadi saya mengambil motif batik dan di sini Malay. Jadi dalam merge ini yang telah saya join lah. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Dan seterusnya ini adalah ilham yang saya ambil. Ini adalah memori saya bersama ibu, macam mana mak membuat punch needle jarum tumbuk masa tu kita kecil. Jadi bila masa kita kecil kita tak dapat nak buat. Okay, benda tu bahaya kan. Kita tengok sahaja, tapi bila kita dah meningkat umur yang sebegini kita rasa macam kita boleh beli online dan kita cuba membuat. Jadi saya membuat hasil karya A to Z-nya dalam bentuk jarum tumbuk ya, A to Z ya. Dan seterusnya ini adalah penghasilan typefaces yang saya menggunakan silk screen ya, yang dikelolakan oleh Segaris ya, Kuala Lumpur International Mini Print ya. Dan seterusnya yang ini saya alhamdulillah saya memenangi 2019 saya memenangi first award untuk plastic bag mixed media, yang which is saya membuat eksperimen typefaces saya menggunakan plastic bag yang saya cantum, saya jahit, saya jadikan A to Z. Okay, explorations of typography menggunakan insert plastic bag. Dan di situlah saya rasa banyak benda-benda yang di mata mungkin orang yang bukan dari line kita, dia tak nampak as a value of benda yang terbuang, tapi mungkin di mata kita rasa benda tu sangat berharga. Dan tahun seterusnya saya dapat masuk final juga. Saya jadikan handle mineral water dan juga cubic yang anak dah buang dah pecah, jadi saya hasilkan bersama skru, saya hasilkan artwork bertitle Handle with Care. Ini adalah tahun 2020 saya dapat masuk final dan saya hasilkan O sahaja daripada handle bottle ya. Okey, adakah saya mungkin masa saya dah ada masih adakah masa ataupun
kita boleh 5 minit lagi, Doktor?
Okey, boleh 5 minit. Bolehkah saya pergi ke Q&A Puan Alina sebenarnya?
Boleh.
Okey.
Boleh.
Okay, terima kasih ya kerana saya nampak excited bila bercerita tentang typografi ya.
Saya pun kalik dengar.
Sebab bila saya bercerita tentang typografi tu saya rasa sangat mendalam dan sangat
dekat dengan doktor lah.
Dekat dengan saya.
Okey, doktor, saya tengok work doktor, biarpun konsep atau asasnya typografi, tapi doktor eksperimen dengan berancam bahan. Jadi adakah doktor ingin melihat bagaimana boleh manipulate bahan itu atau perbezaannya atau bagaimana? Saya tengok macam tenun, ada yang daripada songket, ada yang kayu. Jadi tiada kekangan bahan saya tengok daripada dalam karya doktor tu. Boleh komen?
Betul, sebab saya banyak merujuk juga dengan artis-artis luar ya, yang saya sangat teruja bila mereka menghasilkan exploration of typography ya, bereksperimen towards typography. Ada yang bereksperimen typography melalui X-ray, ada yang bereksperimen typography menggunakan air, bunyi air, mewujudkan typography. Jadi pada saya sangat teruja dengan apa sahaja bahan yang boleh dijadikan typography. Yang saya melihat menghasilkan typography tu dia boleh dihasilkan dengan apa-apa sahaja bahan, tapi saya masih mengekalkan, saya tidak mau lari daripada saya punya root. Di mana saya tu
akallah kita.
Kadang-kadang bila kita solat kita bersolat, kadang-kadang akhir saja solat kita tu kadang kita Allah memberi kita satu petunjuk yang banyak je bahan yang kadang-kadang kan kita terfikir depan mata, daripada cermin apa yang boleh kita jadikan Macam sekarang saya tengah menghasilkan apa yang boleh saya tunjuk di sini, apa yang saya hasilkan sekarang adalah daripada saya tengah buat, walaupun katalah tengah meeting ke apa, kadang-kadang kita meeting agak panjang Jadi tangan kita agak laju untuk memikirkan benda lain ya. Macam contoh yang ni ya, saya buat daripada guni yang daripada guni tersebut saya jalinkan dengan benang. Jalinkan dengan benang yang terhasilnya adalah huruf L. Okey. Yang sini ya, bila saya letakkan sahaja di sini sebenarnya ya. Saya meletakkan di sini, ini saya tengah membuat, walaupun saya membuat wood carving kayu yang terbuang, yang satu saya menggunakan saya membuat tapi saya ingin membuat dia dalam bentuk semi sculpture lah. Semi sculpture yang dia akan berdiri. Maknanya kalau kita akan melihat dia daripada angle yang macam-macam pun kita masih lagi boleh melihat tipografi. Saya ingin membentuk dia di dalam ayat iman. Jadi kita tahu ya, kita banyak kekurangan ya. Kita banyak kekurangan dan kita rasa macam ada something yang missing dalam pencarian kita ya. Jadi kita kalau kata Allah dah memberi kita ke arah suatu yang baik, kita kena menerimanya dengan ikhlas ya. Menerimanya dengan ikhlas, jangan menolak benda tu supaya kita reda dengan apa yang diberi. Jadi saya rasa apa bahan yang ada macam tadi Puan Alina cakap, apa bahan mungkin daripada kain putih akan dijadikan benda something. Jadi saya tidak menghadkan bahan-bahan tu. Jadi saya free untuk berkarya. Mungkin dalam bidang saya juga ingin melihat ya young generation, jangan lupa kita punya root dan jangan lupa untuk bereksperimen dengan typography tu sendiri, typefaces tu sendiri.
Bila kita explore tu kita akan temui benda baru dan sebagainya yang akan lead to a new research and exploration lagi.
Ya betul. Sangat-sangat betul Puan Alina.
Okay, ya. Jadi kita ada dua soalan daripada audiens kita pagi ini. Nombor satu adalah apakah cabaran dalam menghasilkan Arabic typeface? Terima kasih Zahir.
Okey, terima kasih Zahir. Sebenarnya nak kata cabaran sebab dia tidaklah ada cabarannya Cik Zahir, sebab bidang saya adalah visual communication. Saya lebih kepada, kalau sekarang ni tool kita adalah lebih kepada komputer. Tool kita komputer ya, untuk membuat brochure, untuk membuat editorial, untuk membuat print ad, press ad. Tapi semasa mengajar saya tak nak menghadkan anak murid saya, pelajar-pelajar saya hanya dengan komputer sahaja, dengan evidence yang ada di Western ni. Apa kata kalau kita try bereksperimen ya? Kita try bereksperimen dengan apa yang ada dengan kita ya. Kalau kata kita bereksperimen dengan songket, apa yang kita boleh dapat daripada songket? Daripada songket tu sendiri. Kalau daripada batik, apa yang kita dapat daripada batik? Dan kalau katalah Cik Zahir cakap tadi sebagai cabaran, saya tidak menganggap dia sebagai cabaran ya. Alhamdulillah. Tidak mau riak ataupun timbul satu perasaan yang lain. Apa yang saya rasa adalah saya enjoy momen saya bersama praktikal, sebab saya rasa bila kita menghasilkan praktikal, apa yang saya tunjuk tadi, bila saya menghasilkan satu work untuk advertisement tapi masterpiece-nya adalah manual tapi saya akan screenshot, akan membuat foto manipulation selepas itu. Maknanya masterpiece yang kita ada tu adalah daripada practical work. Jadi saya sangat enjoy dan rasa macam saya kalau dapat satu hari tu saya menghasilkan benda, saya rasa macam something yang saya KPI saya telah terhasil lah, itulah. Jadi saya tak rasa dia sebagai bebanan. Jadi itu sebab saya rasa sangat berbesar hati bila saya dapat join mana-mana sahaja competition ataupun mana-mana exhibition. Saya sangat berbesar hati untuk share knowledge saya di dalam bidang visual communication yang di-accept dalam bentuk a piece of artwork. Ya, sebab dalam typography kita bukan hanya, kita jangan anggap typography itu hanya baca newspaper, baca magazine, tapi typography itu beyond daripada apa yang kita lihat. Itu ya Puan Alina, saya harap saya jawab dia Cik Zahir.
Tak, soalan tu daripada audience.
Okey.
Cik Zahir yang pengelola
Okey.
soalan.
Okey, terima kasih.
Okey,
Siapa
okey.
audien yang
Okey, soalan nombor 2 yang berkaitan juga dengan apa yang Dr. sebut tadi tentang akar. Soalannya adakah typeface atau tipografi ini mampu menggambarkan sesuatu budaya itu, a culture?
Ya, dia adalah sebagai kita punya kita panggil ambassador. Tipografi ni adalah sebagai ambassador kepada kita punya country. Contoh apa yang kita lihat kalau kita pergi Thailand those yang pernah pergi Thailand, walaupun di dalam Latin, tapi karakteristik Thailand tu ada. Begitu juga dengan Indonesia. Kalau kita tengok kita pergi, kita melihat dia punya typeface Minangkabau, dia ada karakteristik Minangkabau. Jadi itulah yang saya cuba zahirkan di dalam kalau katalah saya rasa banyak je macam yang saya kata tadi, Iqbal daripada Melaka, saya sangat adore dengan dia punya kerja dan dia menghasilkan banyak typefaces dia dalam dinamakan sebagai macam Dayang Senandung. Okey, dizahirkan dalam apa yang kita gambarkan Dayang Senandung, apa yang kita gambarkan dalam contohlah kalau kita nak pada saya lah kita nak berkarya mungkin kita lihat tudung saji. Apa yang kita lihat tudung saji yang nak dipotretkan dalam Malay identity tapi dizahirkan dalam typefaces. Okay. Mungkin Dr. Syarmiza, mungkin Puan Zurin menzahirkan work dalam bentuk folklore, dalam bentuk dalam bentuk sculpture, tapi masih ada lagi ciri-ciri Malaysia ataupun ciri-ciri kemelayuan di dalam penghasilan karya. Begitu juga macam saya, apa yang saya nak adalah, apa yang saya cuba tampilkan adalah eksperimen ataupun exploration typography dalam a piece of masterpiece-nya adalah artwork. Artwork.
Ya betul. Ya. Saya rasa kalau yang paling obvious sekali kalau dalam Oriental lah, Chinese characters dan sebagainya. Okey, soalan ketiga, adakah sukar dalam menghasilkan tipografi? Ini saya tak pasti apa maksudnya. Mungkin menghasilkan karya yang bertemakan tipografi ataupun menghasilkan mencipta tipografi itu sendiri. Saya tak pasti apa soalannya. Tapi soalannya adakah sukar dalam menghasilkan tipografi?
Okey, dua, mungkin saya boleh quote dua lah. Satu, to generate the typography, sekarang banyak software to generate, maknanya first yang kita perlu buat adalah the idea how to develop the typefaces. Okay, how to develop the typefaces tu mesti kita ada satu team lah, satu tema. Kalau kata tadi Puan Alina ada mention pasal macam Chinese karakteristik. Kalau katalah kita nampak Chinese pun banyak mungkin kita nak ambil dragon lah, for example. Dragon. Jadi kita ambil the idea of the dragon tu, kita kena membuat sedikit pengkajian terhadap dragon. Apa dragon dan sebagainya. Sama ada dia kita melihat dia secara filosofinya dragon ataupun kita melihat desainnya dragon. Jadi kita boleh menghasil contoh macam Min Wang daripada dia dah terkenal di US tapi dia tidak melupakan root dia. Dia masih pergi balik ke China dan dia masa Olympic 2008 for example Min Wang telah contribute dia dengan satu universiti ataupun satu politeknik, ambil semua student dia untuk bekerja dengan dia to develop the idea of signage Olympic 2008. Maknanya walaupun dia dah famous dekat Min Wang nama dia, typographer ni, dia dah famous dekat US. Dah duduk di universiti yang terkenal dan menjadi profesor yang terkenal, tapi dia tak lupa siapa dia. Penghasilan karya dia masih lagi ada influence of Chinese dan dia bawa balik the ideologi tu untuk bekerjasama dengan Olympic 2008 dan menghasilkan all the signage yang 2008. Jadi apa yang tadi yang saya boleh jawab daripada audien adalah bila menghasilkan tu kena ada satu team, baru you senang untuk develop you punya typefaces tu. Tapi untuk generate, dia ada software. Contoh macam photographer, ada font shop yang daripada you punya sketches yang you akan create dalam AI, okay, illustration, and then you akan transform dia di dalam software tu dan you boleh type dah software. Dan sekarang ni banyak apps yang membantu you, memudahkan you untuk ambil you punya typeface tadi, masukkan di dalam app tu dan you boleh type your own typefaces dan you namakan typefaces tersebut.
Menarik.
Dan banyak software dan sekarang ni saya rasa saya bersama student pun selalu share. Kadang-kadang kan new generation ni dia banyak tahu kan bila apps.
Ya, betul.
Aku share. Jadi banyak apps yang sangat minta maaf ya.
Tak apa.
Pula jadi itu memberi inspiration terhadap penghasilan typefacer dan kita sebenarnya bila kita berkarya lah, audien yang bertanya tadi, kita berkarya kita kena ada ikhlas tu. Bila ada ikhlas tu, dia tidak menjadi burden. Dia tidak menjadi burden. Macam tu juga kalau apa sahaja, kalau kita mengajar pun macam saya punya hakiki adalah mengajar. Kalau mengajar satu hari tu kita rasa macam benda tu terpaksa, dia akan menjadi kepayahan. Tapi kalau benda tu general, secara kita ikhlas, kita membuat sesuatu benda tu, kita rasa macam kita tenang sedikit lah saya rasa.
Okey, doktor, nampaknya masa cemburu. Jadi next presenter nanti kurang pula masa nak kongsi. Jadi mungkin kita boleh lanjutkan dalam masa-masa akan datang, mungkin in future webinar or what not. And terima kasih banyak Dr. Masura atas perkongsian yang sangat mendalam lah atas proses yang doktor buat dan juga bahan. Saya tertarik dengan kepelbagaian bahan tu yang exploration, yang leads to another research and all. Terima kasih banyak-banyak doktor. Jadi kita teruskan kepada pembentang yang seterusnya lah, yang ketiga, yang terakhir untuk sesi 1 pada pagi ini. Jadi tanpa berlengah masa, let me introduce to our third presenter, Puan Zuriati Muhammad. Okay, Puan Zuriati, apa khabar?
Khabar baik.
Okay, Puan Zuriati received a master's degree from University of Tasmania, Australia, and currently a lecturer in Faculty of Art and Design UiTM Shah Alam. She also joined numerous exhibition, and the most recent exhibition were Malaysian Independent Day exhibition, Creative Art Hub KL, Merdeka 64 Tribute to Malaysian exhibition Prima Gallery KL, Open Show in Galeri Shah Alam, Payung Merah exhibition by Perupa Malaysia, of Art and Wine, Parasa Kalikasan, the Philippine Fauna Art Society, Taking Side with Justice Exhibition Fine Arts, and a few more others in this year alone. Okay, tanpa berlengah masa, saya mempersilakan Puan Zuriati to present her research on the title Safeguarding Folktale in Drawing on Recycled Papers. Silakan Puan.
Thank you so much, our beautiful moderator, and I am very honored today to have the director of Galeri Shah Alam itself to moderate our session today. And then thank you so much also Mr. Muhammad Zahiruddin for the lovely opening speech this morning. And then Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh to all viewers, especially to all LAKAR WANITA artists from Malaysia, and also from Indonesia as well as all the protege. So hari ini saya akan saya sebenarnya a bit nervous because this session has started with two doctors yang saya rasa presentation yang tadi sangat hebat dan hangat. Jadi saya harap penutup untuk sesi ini I didn't spoil the session and I hope perkongsian saya ini at least give some maybe sedikit info ataupun sedikit pengetahuan lah, paling tidak pun sedikit kepada all the viewers out there. So insyaAllah sesi saya akan berlangsung dalam masa 30 minit. Okay, allow me to start presenting my slide and thank you. And boleh nampak ke?
Boleh. Puan tolong next page test forward to next page. Okay, to see it's to see it's working or not.
Okay kan? Alright. So Zurin Syari ataupun my full name is Zuriati Muhammad Syari. I am teaching foundation basic drawing for first year student for both campuses Shah Alam and Puncak Alam. And LAKAR WANITA has been doing quite well since 2016 for the first exhibition and then still continue until now. And saya sangat terharu sebenarnya that we can sustain this group exhibition, a lady group exhibition. Tidak henti-henti mempamerkan karya dan idea masing-masing, dan saya rasa starting last time we started to not just berpameran, menghasilkan katalog dan publication, and also we started dengan perkongsian idea seperti ini. Dan ini adalah the second time LAKAR WANITA berwebinar selain daripada melakukan aktiviti yang dah pernah we are actually having artists from each cawangan and kali ini adalah first time LAKAR WANITA berpameran secara international dan dengan Indonesian Institute of Art. Jadi saya sangat-sangat berbesar hati dan sangat-sangat terharu dengan komitmen yang diberikan oleh semua artis dan juga protege. Okay, so for this particular exhibition, saya mengangkat folktale sebagai isu ataupun tema ataupun subject matter untuk karya saya, and topic for today's sharing session is safeguarding folktale through drawing on recycled paper. So what is actually folktale? Folktale is the oral tradition passed down from various generations through storytelling, writing, performing, and visual presentation. It represents culture and identity of a society. People in Malaysia recognize the value of folktale to convey messages in the form of reprimands, guidelines, and satire. However, this folktale is increasingly forgotten by today's generation. My artworks are to associate young generations and Malay folktale through animal characters in drawing. So folktale is actually an element yang kita boleh jumpa dalam Malay folklore ataupun tradisi lisan. So in Malay folklore, let me just read this so that I will not go far from what I have. Folktale are often told by storytellers called penipulara and people who comfort the sad heart by telling folktales with elements of humor. Among the popular Malaysian folktales are animal story, comic, and fable. For example, stories of Sang Kancil, Pak Pandey, Pak Kado, and Bawang Putih Bawang Merah. And I just mentioned a few of them, and of course there are a lot more. And we also have folk music such as pantun, syair, gurindam, sloka, nazam, and so on. Folk healing is forming and medical ritual for a healing purpose. purposes. For example, in Kelantan, they have Main Putri, where Tok Teri, the group leader, also act as an intermediary to connect the patient with the angin and semangat. For folk epic, Hikayat is stories based on historical events and often involving mythological figures in a setting, usually engaging the role of protagonist and antagonist. For example, Hikayat Hang Tuah, Hikayat Indra Putra, Hikayat Malim Deman, and so on. Malaysians have always taken great interest in stories of ghosts and mythical creatures. Due to the animistic root of Malaysian folklore, these ghosts are seen as sharing the plane of existence with humans and are not always considered evil. However, when the delicate line that separates boundaries is crossed, a example of ghost creatures are bajang, pocong, pontianak, and toyol. So Malaysian folklore includes a considerable collection of folk songs. Many of these songs are in the form of stories weaved into poetry or simple rhyme. These folk songs are often integrated with moral values, and some may also include stories of talking animals such as bangau or bangau and tanya sama pokok. Reference or to be inspired for my artwork. Okay, first why is for safeguarding. So these are the fact that support my first why. Folktales, myths, folk beliefs and legends needs to be safeguarded in this digital age to avoid extinction due to rapid development of globalization and commercial entertainments. And in 2003, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, have approved a conference entitled Safeguarding of the Intangible Culture Heritage and have been adopted by 130 countries, including Malaysia. So my second why is artist contribution. So why does artists need to contribute in supporting or in doing artwork, to support anything, to support any issues or whatever? So artists have a close liaison with the community and have a rational and specific purpose and direction for art making. In understanding its goals, we also need to know the position and development of artists in the society. Among them is emphasizing the development of individuals to create an innovative society and able to create something for the new and future generation. My third why. So for this LAKAR WANITA, we have decided to support SDG goals for our theme. And my artwork is to substantially reduce waste generation through prevention, reduction, recycling, and reuse. So who are my target audience? My target audience is the young generation, or I think I will scope to or Asmida Ali, Harisman Harun, Azliza Uthman, 2019. Based on their observation, children nowadays do not really appreciate folktales due to the changes in lifestyle and physical environmental landscapes, as they could not relate or make sense of the traditional cultural values and instead within the stories. These folktales, which were stories of hundreds of years for sure, portray totally different lifestyle, tradition and culture, yet the rich values and lessons of life remain relevant in providing examples and guidance to the younger generations. Okay, however, there are many efforts for many parties to preserve and safeguard Malay folktale to make sure the continuity remain for further generation. And not only folktale, of course, folklore has been promoted through theatre. For example, theatre Puteri Gunung Ledang, through filmmaking. For example, in Malaysia we have Merong Mahawangsa, and also movies Puteri Gunung Ledang by Tiara Jacqueline, And of course dalam mempromosikan cerita-cerita dongeng ini, buku-buku ilustrasi ini memainkan peranan yang sangat penting dan terlalu banyak, saya rasa banyak publisher yang mengangkat folktale ini sebagai satu isu ataupun sebagai penceritaan dalam buku-buku mereka. So these are the examples, and antara publisher yang banyak publish buku-buku berunsur begini adalah Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka, of course. Ini yang saya refer at the moment, kumpulan cerita Sang Kancil by DBP, and also Institut Terjemahan Buku Malaysia ITBM. So ini adalah antaranya. Ada banyak lagi publisher di luar sana yang mengangkat folktale ataupun folklore sebagai satu isu untuk dipromosikan. And also not forgotten, our Malaysian animation yang saya rasa sejak awal dulu, since 1984 telah bermula mempromosikan folktale di kalangan rakyat, di kalangan masyarakat dan animation in Malaysia, which is directed and made by Hassan Muttalib. This was made during 1978 but only published in 1984. So I still remember during those days, I was in standard 1 where I would run to the television when I heard the sounds or the music from this series TV. And saya rasa masa itu, ini adalah antara hiburan yang paling hebat lah, hiburan yang paling best lah untuk kanak-kanak at my age. So for those yang lahir tahun 70-an tu mesti faham, dah hafal lah skrip-skrip ni. Saya masih ingat antara skripnya, jangan monyet, jangan makan. Betul lah yang that series. Dia ada banyak series sebenarnya, and I would like to share hari ni untuk kita sama-sama lihat. Dan kalau kita tengok sebentar lagi, setiap skrip yang disampaikan oleh narrator ataupun skrip daripada karakter-karakter haiwan itu sendiri memberitahu tentang pedoman kepada masyarakat, memberitahu tentang lesson kepada masyarakat, bagaimana to be in life with the quality of human being. Okay, saya izinkan saya mainkan video ini.
Dulu kala meramaikan irama buana. Masing-masing dapat bertutur dan mengerti walaupun jenis dan kuak berlainan. Demikian faedahnya jika hanya satu bahasa rasmi didaulat dan dipergunakan dalam penghidupan.
So ini menceritakan tentang bahasa rasmi Malaysia.
Al-Qisah, kata sahibul hikayat, pada suatu hari yang terang cuaca, berlakulah kata pepatah, kalau tak ada sebab sebab masa kan tempua bersarang rendah. Konon, menurut cerita orang yang terdahulu, dengan pujian, kerbau yang bodoh dapat ditipu. Muncullah sang kancil bijak memberi pertolongan.
Aku akan tolong kau kawan. Tunggulah kejap. Enggak. Kau tak ada jodoh saja. Lepaskan aku.
Sang Sempoh, kenapa mengerang? Tak kenalkah dunia ini? Nangis minta tolong. Tak kenalkah dunia ini? Kebaikan selalu berbalas dengan kejahatan. Tak sedarkah kau?
Kat sini dikatakan kebaikan selalu dibalaskan kejahatan. Masih tak sedarkah?
Dunia ini kau tahu?
Sekarang bila sudah buruk, aku tak berguna lagi.
Mengerti?
Aku tunggu. Aku tunggu.
Bagaimana? Hei!
Sorry.
Jangan lama. Ya. Ya.
Aku tahu. Apa lagi bodoh? Pergilah lari selamatkan nyawa kau. Sebelum si ganas ini dapat menangkap kaki kau sekali lagi. Dan ingatlah, fikiran pelita hidup kita.
This is the best part. The kancil remind us that ingatlah pemikiran adalah pelita hidup kita. Jadi saya rasa macam terlalu banyak lesson yang kita boleh dapat dalam 12 minit ni. Jadi bayangkan jika kanak-kanak menonton, dan saya rasa dia bukan sekadar untuk kanak-kanak saja. Kalau orang dewasa menonton pun masih banyak lagi yang boleh dipelajari daripada siri ini. Jadi sama juga dengan yang ini. This one is published ataupun animated, directed by Malaysian, I think most popular Malaysian animation company, LAKAR. The same company who did Upin Ipin, yang juga famous di Indonesia. Jadi kita saksikan sedikit cara garapannya.
Jangan disangka tiada buaya.
Aku dah berjaya! Buaya-buaya! Aku dah dapat gaji! Aku takkan tertipu dengan helah kau lagi.
Matilah kau kancil.
Apa hal pula ni?
Okey. Ketua, kami telah sebulat suara.
Makanlah. Makanlah rantai kayu tu puas-puas.
Berani kau.
Tadi nak sangat.
Takutlah nak seberang sungai tu.
So dalam siri ini selain daripada lesson itu kita boleh lihat daripada penceritaan, diperolehi daripada penceritaan, diselitkan pula kemudian itu di hujung ini ada konklusi daripada Atok ni menceritakan apakah pengajaran yang boleh kita dapati daripada siri ini. Jadi selain daripada viewers pick sendiri daripada siri yang dilihat, tapi dikonkludkan lebih mudah. Jadi dia telah bariskan sendiri apakah pengajaran yang dapat didapati daripada cerita ini dengan mengeluarkan satu watak yang menceritakan pula kepada kanak-kanak ni apa yang dapat, apa yang mereka boleh. Sebenarnya apa bentuk ataupun karya ataupun perkara yang kita nak cuba hasilkan demi safeguarding or preserve the folktale ini, semuanya adalah berkenaan dengan highlighted the pedoman yang boleh kita dapat daripada cerita. Okay, so ini adalah Western folktale di mana saya bawakan a few, Little Red Riding Hood, and then we have Rapunzel here, and then Cinderella, and also Snow White. So ini adalah daripada memang illustration yang lama, it started long time ago, and then masih famous di kalangan anak-anak kita. And then apa kalau kita lihat kat sini, kadang-kadang anak-anak sekarang ataupun kita lebih tahu jalan cerita Western folk Dekat anak-anak kecil nak jadi princess, nak jadi Cinderella. Okay, sebenarnya kalau kita pick a family story, apa yang saya boleh concludekan ada yang berada di sini. Okay, contohnya dikungkung ataupun dibunuh untuk diselamatkan oleh seorang lelaki. Cinderella pun begitu, seorang anak tiri yang menjadi servant kepada dalam rumah tu dan juga menunggu sang putera raja untuk menyelamatkan hidupnya, untuk menjadikan hidup dia lebih baik dan terbela. Snow White pula dengan kejamnya telah diberi makan sebiji apple yang telah dibacakan mantra supaya apabila dia makan dia tidur. Dan again, penyelamatnya adalah seorang putera raja untuk menyelamatkan Snow White lah supaya bangun dan hidup seperti sedia kala dan berkahwinlah dengan putera raja. Jadi rata-rata apa yang kita dendangkan kepada anak-anak kita hari ini, especially the girls lah, kalau yang ini the girls lah, adalah you have to be princess, you have to be this. Adakah ini yang kita masih nak dendangkan kepada mereka, sedangkan kita ada banyak kisah-kisah dongeng daripada masyarakat kita sendiri yang lebih inspiring saya rasa, yang tidaklah semata-mata kerana cinta dan pengorbanan kepada putera raja sahaja. Okay, jadi saya bawakan satu kisah dongeng yang saya ada terbaca dalam buku-buku yang saya dah baca all this while, and cerita dia macam simple, a bit funny, tapi boleh kita ceritakan kepada kanak-kanak, and the most importantly, it doesn't involve any putera raja, it doesn't involve any perempuan cantik yang didera. Okay, so ceritanya begini. Ada seekor udang galah, ya. Udang galah tu yang begitu bentuk dia bongkok tu. Udang galah tersebut sangat sombong, bongkak. So he thinks that he is very superior dalam ocean yang besar tu, dan udang galah yang besar tu, and dia sangat sombong. Ceritanya begitulah. And satu hari ada seekor camar yang putih terbang dan telah menyapa udang galah tu dan katakan, udang, you know that there is someone out there who is more superior than you. Mendengarkan itu, udang pun terasa tercabar dan sangat marah sebabkan kebongkakan dan ego dia tu. Dia sangat marah, and she said, alright, show me the person. And then camar pun membawa dia, the udang berenang, and the camar putih terbang. So lepas kepenatan, udang pun tak larat, dah penat, camar putih terus terbang sahaja. Sebenarnya dia sekadar beritahu supaya sekadar teasing the udang galah. Dan setelah udang galah penat, berehat di dalam sebuah gua, rupa-rupanya gua tersebut adalah lubang hidung ikan paus. Jadi apabila dia punya tangan dan sesungut tu terkena hidung, maka paus pun terbersin dan tercampaklah udang galah tu, dan dia tercampak atas batu, maka pinggang dia patah, dan bermula dari situ udang galah pun pinggang dia bengkok sebab patah. So begitu saja ceritanya, tapi kita boleh kata ke anak-anak kita yang kalau you bongkak, you know that you are not the only person yang ada something yang ada, kita kena humble setiap masa dalam perjalanan hidup kita. So kita ada banyak yang kita boleh pick up daripada kisah-kisah dongeng masyarakat Melayu ni sebenarnya, and very interesting. So what can artists do to preserve folktale? Okay, selain daripada sebagai as an artist, okay, so my research is on folktale, and of course my duty of my film director, for example. So apa yang saya boleh buat adalah contribution saya sebagai pengkarya adalah menghasilkan karya yang menceritakan ataupun mempromosikan tentang folktale masyarakat Melayu, Jadi adakah persoalannya, is it enough for me to berkarya and then to showcase my artworks in any exhibition, whether it's physical or online? Is it enough for me? Is it younger generations out there will come and see my artwork? Itu persoalannya. Jadi saya rasa challenge for me in doing this, in promoting this folktale for my artwork is to go to them, to be at whatever platform that they can reach, they prefer to reach, they like to reach. For example, maybe my documentation of drawing or my drawing or my exhibition online, for example, my online video exhibition will be on YouTube or in TikTok or whatever platform that is popular among younger generation, and that is saya rasa itu adalah antara challenge. Itu adalah the most challenging part for me sebagai artis. Alright, so ini adalah jadi along the way, of course, I have all the artist reference and sebagai pengkarya dan pengkaji, dan saya dapat lihat bahawa ramai sebenarnya Malaysian artist yang berkarya inspired ataupun dengan menginterpretasi Malay folklore, tapi namun saya rasa pengkarya-pengkarya ini lebih menjurus kepada legendary, epic, historical, begitu temanya. Tapi saya rasa sedikit kurang yang menekankan folktale ataupun kisah dongeng dalam karya mereka. So ini adalah antara contoh sahaja. Zulkifli Yusof dengan siri Puteri Gunung Ledang, and this is during 1993. And also we have Nik Zainal Abidin Nik Saleh, ini old painting, Kelantanis shadow puppet ataupun wayang kulit 1959. And also we have Anwar Rashid, Kelahiran Indah Putra 1978. Kelahiran Indah Putra ni is a very nice story. Saya rasa dia ada macam involving naga yang menjaga kawasan and all that, kesaktian. So very interesting juga. Okay, and this is my artwork for this particular exhibition, and this one is a series of kerbau buaya 1, 2 and 3. This is yang ini dia punya surface adalah made from recycled paper and then inspired from manuscript, di mana manuscript adalah, kalau kita lihat dia punya karakternya adalah ilustrasi yang menceritakan something, okay, illustration of from a story. Jadi itu yang saya bawakan di sini, di mana cerita kisah kerbau, buaya dan sang kancil ni yang ia adalah satu cerita di mana buaya terhempak dahan kayu, kemudian meminta tolong daripada kerbau untuk lepaskan dirinya. Kemudian apabila dia dah terlepas, dia nak makan pula kerbau tu, and then telah diselamatkan oleh sang kancil. Jadi ketulusan buaya itu tidak mendapat balasan yang setimpal, malah nak pula dimakan oleh buaya. So the kancil adalah sebagai penyelamat dan berjaya menipu helah buaya untuk menyelamatkan kawannya si kerbau. Jadi sebenarnya sebagai artis, selain dari saya melihat dan mengambil nasihat-nasihat yang secara direct ini, I also see those story indirectly. Jadi maksudnya betul kancil menolong kerbau, tapi kancil ni sebenarnya adalah licik dan suka kadang-kadang dia menipu helah mangsa ataupun kawan dia sendiri untuk kepentingan diri dia sendiri. Cuma kali ini baiknya dia menipu untuk menyelamatkan kerbau. Okay, jadi begitulah, dan saya gambarkan untuk siri-siri painting saya, drawing saya kali ini dengan membesarkan otak kancil ni, menunjukkan yang dia banyak fikir dan dia licik dan dia cerdik sebenarnya. Okay, and then this one ada 2 more artwork. So for LAKAR WANITA 2021, I showcasing 3 artworks, and yang ini adalah atas box yang beli barang tu potong, and then saya prepare the surface first dengan put more texture onto the box, and then some textures I leave it there because I need the texture to be appeared supaya menampakkan secara tak langsung tekstur pada kulit buaya tu dia akan terselah dengan sendiri because dia ada texture behind it. So ini adalah sebuah komposisi juga menceritakan cerita yang sama, kisah yang sama, cuma di atas satu composition yang berbeza saja. Ini this is the proses ketika menghasilkan the paper, the surface. Okay, it is from box and also A4 papers, yang recycle A4 papers, sebab during MCO ni we tend to we always shop online. Jadi when the whatever you purchase come in a box, so there will be a growing of boxes at home yang kita tak tahu apa nak guna kadang-kadang. So I pick some and turn it into something else. And also when my kids is doing the school at home, there will be a lot of waste paper at home that I sometimes don't know what to do with it, and then I pick it up, soak it in the water, and then blend, and then put on top of a frame, and then transfer on there. You can see the third picture here, transfer on a towel, and then dry it off, dan maka terhasillah satu paper yang thickness dia just nice. You can control the thickness. The thicker your paper is, maksudnya dia akan lambat kering lah. Kalau thin sangat dia akan rapuh. Jadi you have to handle it with you will know as you go along with it. Like Dr. Shamiza said just now, when you entertain this recycled upcycled material, they will speak to you. So you sooner you will know how to handle them very correctly and nicely. Okay, and this is the process. Lepas tu kemudian proses drawingnya macam biasa. I use acrylic as well, but before that, the first layer is dye from coffee waste, because I need the effect of macam lama-lama sikit kan, jadi dapatlah colour brown tu dulu, brownish dulu. So this is the detail part of my drawing. Do I still have time? Yes, a bit. Okay, artist reference. I have all the artist reference that sometimes they draw animals also, sebab tu saya refer kepada mereka. And what I amazed from these artists are they are dia punya kekuatan dalam line pada drawing tu. So we can see the energy, we can see the strong of the strokes pada drawing mereka. Jadi saya refer kepada mereka. And then this one also I think I love the color effect pada background. And then Hussein Osman always come up with very energetic drawing. And because my genre is drawing, I always refer to drawing artists as well. And this is Fiona Tang, USA artist. April Kopini also from USA. So ini adalah hasil karya April ni. Most of, I think all of the drawings are to capture animals punya character animals. Jadi saya rasa it suits me very well. Sejajar ataupun it suits me in the sense of my research as well. So saya refer kepada dia, dan especially the the media yang digunakan same. We use charcoal and charcoal pencil in our drawing. And then cuma April ni kebanyakan daripada drawing dia adalah realistic. And then dia memang capture karakter ataupun haiwan itu, kedudukan dia, bagaimana dia bergerak, kalau dia berlari macam mana, kalau dia duduk macam mana. So I think I found it very interesting. Okay, these are my artworks yang saya hasilkan atas canvas, and this one is based from story Kancil Membilang Buaya, di mana saya showcasekan dalam art step juga, di mana when viewers click on my drawing, they could read out the paragraph from the story. Jadi you can enjoy my drawing, viewers can enjoy my drawing online as well as read the story of Sang Kancil Membilang Buaya. So whatever, and then for the last drawing, so I have like I think 10 to 11 drawings altogether. Storytelling about Kancil Membilang Buaya, and the last one is this one, the third drawing, where I draw buaya helping out kancil to eat the jambu air. Okay, jadi selain daripada nasihat-nasihat biasa yang kita perolehi daripada cerita tersebut, saya juga melihat apa di sebalik stories yang ataupun nasihat-nasihat biasa tu, apa yang kita boleh pick untuk kita ceritakan ataupun untuk kita highlight. Sebenarnya buaya tu tadi dia teraniaya sebenarnya. Dia dah kalau ikut ceritanya, dia dah beratur untuk Sang Kancil kira dia, dan Sang Kancil kata Raja Sulaiman akan give the crocodile something as award, sebab dah bagi Kancil mengira mereka supaya Kancil dapat cross over the river, jadi dapat makan buah tu. So bila Kancil dah dapat makan buah tu, dia just let go, and then like macam tak kisahlah. So dia kata macam tu lah. Jadi saya melihat bukan setakat Kancil tu berjaya across the river dan dapat makan, tapi ada juga dengan menggunakan tipu helah dia dengan baik sekali, tapi ada juga nasihat lain supaya jangan menganiaya kawan you. Jadi untuk kepentingan diri you sendiri. So sebenarnya what else can you do actually selain daripada menipu itu? Maybe you can negotiate nicely, maybe you can ask for help, for favor, or yelah sebab ini kan kisah dongeng, jadi maybe itu boleh berlaku, atau walaupun kalau tengok daripada actualnya, tak mungkin krokodil akan biarkan kancil tu pijak-pijak kepala tanpa makan. Okay. Tapi itu adalah antara yang boleh saya highlight dalam penghasilan karya saya, iaitu pedoman yang kita boleh dapat secara indirect lah, apa yang tidak didendangkan oleh dalam cerita-cerita dongeng masyarakat Melayu. Ini adalah antara karya-karya lah. So setiap story tu, setiap paragraf tu ada a few buku surat, and saya merujuk kepada buku daripada Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka ini. Setiap daripada paragraf tu saya keluarkan drawingnya untuk bagi viewers lihat, dan saya bekalkan dengan storynya jika viewers klik kepada drawing saya tu. Jadi saya rasa ada conclusion. Folktale can be presented to the society in artworks through any reachable platform for safeguarding intent, and also apart from safeguarding, the artworks also manage to educate the viewers the obtainable lesson from the highlighted folktale. So saya rasa that's all from me today. Thank you so much.
Okay, terima kasih Puan Zoyati. Menarik, sangat menarik persembahan tadi. What I can conclude that you take a certain paragraph from the text and transfer it to visual. So the visual can be a narrative for the story itself.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So I know the size of the artwork.
Sorry, Pon.
Size of the
Size. Oh, that is slightly bigger than A3.
Okay, so it can be a
did,
very
yes,
a
I did a
very
small.
big illustration book.
Yes, but it can be a very big illustration book, and also I am willing anytime to transfer it into a big piece of drawing, inshallah.
Okay, that's very great. And ada satu soalan daripada audience. Okay, soalannya, adakah sukar menghasilkan, boleh dengar Puan?
Boleh?
Adakah sukar menghasilkan karya menggunakan folktale sebagai tema?
Well, kesukaran menghasilkan karya ni, I am happy to refer back to Dr. Mastura, what have she shared before. Macam when you like or when you are honest with whatever you're doing, kesukaran itu tak timbul ataupun bukan setakat tidak menjadi masalah, it doesn't appear at all. So if you are, I think when for any researcher, when you pick any issue or whatever theme or subject matter that you want to research, you have to be happy and very interest on it. Jadi bila kita ada satu kesukaan dan interest yang sangat tinggi, dia tidak sukar. Cumanya is the challenge for artists is you have to remember that you are not an illustrator. So if you are an artist, you have to bear in mind that you need to be something different from illustrator. Jadi maybe whatever I have shown before ada sedikit lebih kurang macam illustration, but that was the first step for me to cover folktale ataupun to introduce folktale in my karya. Tetapi saya rasa soon I will go beyond. Jadi maksudnya folktale itu tidak disampaikan secara direct, maybe dia mengajak viewers untuk berfikir dan ia tidak secara direct dan tidak menjadi illustration. And for me as a drawing artist, saya sebenarnya mengharapkan suatu hari nanti saya tidak lagi draw secara konvensional. Maybe I could explore 3D drawings or using any application or whatever, because I need to expose my artwork, my folktale artwork to young generation. Jadi in order to capture their view, saya rasa dengan cara konvensional tu maybe kurang berkesan lah. So maybe saya kena itulah, maybe kalau viewers kat luar sana boleh typekan dekat saya mana-mana platform yang youngsters suka, sebab kita dah tak young dan sters lagi. Maybe youngsters boleh type kat saya apa platform yang they are into now, sebab kadang-kadang tak ada idea juga kan, jadi kena tanya-tanya pendapat mereka lah. Itulah saja jawapan saya.
Okay, terima kasih Puan Zuriati. I think that's all for session 1 because it's already 11:30. And thank you so much, Puan Zuriati, for your insights on and the process of your work, and very interesting to know that we can use our boxes from that we ordered from Shopee and all to create another useful thing. Benda tu sebenarnya dah lama sebelum ni, jadi kita boleh apply lah time ini.
Yes, this is the time for us to apply.
Ya. Saya pun banyak nanti lepas ni saya boleh triggered an idea for me as well. And thank you Dr. Mastura as well for your typography theme on various medium and materials. And thank you Dr. Shahmiza for your professional ideas and sharing on your process, and hopefully someday we will visit your studio And maybe we can do together, touching the plastic bottles and whatnot. Okay, as I said earlier, it is an added value to be an artist who is also an educator. So the academia itself very safe wisdom, perception directly from the industry field itself. As I quote Eric Booth, a practicing professional artist with the complementary skills, curiosities, and sensibilities of an educator who can actively engage a wide range of people in learning experiences through and about the arts. It is very true, very true when I look at the topics that we discussed this morning, and we will be discussing a very other topics from later on and the next 3 days. Thank you so much, Dr. Sempuan, and we will adjourn for now, but we will continue later for this webinar later at 2:30 at 2:30. 2:30, is it, Zahir? If I'm not mistaken. And the link will be given in the YouTube, I assume in the YouTube channel. And thank you so much. And hopefully we will have another chance to share our experience and all. And thank you. See you later. Thank you so much. Bye.